What's going on, guys? Hey, Repeat back with you. It's another Sunday night. That means it's time for the Turn Down for What iRacing Truck Series presented by the Network Alliance for Veterans and NetworkAllianceForVeterans.com. Big thank you to the one and only Lieutenant Colonel retired of our U.S. Army for picking up the Turn Down for What iRacing Truck Series for the second straight season in a row. Colonel Ross, if you're out there, thank you very much, not only for everything that you do, or you did, for our country and continue to do for our veterans, but also everything that you do here for the Turn Down for What Truck Series as well. All right, everybody, it's the Beast of the Southeast, the Queen City Charlotte Motor Speedway. 134 laps are on tap for this evening. We're going to go ahead and clear the boards, get on down. Qualifying right now is underway, so we're going to jump in with some of these guys, see exactly what they're capable of, starting off with the one and only Scott Rickard right now in his 05 machine. See him high, wide, and handsome right up on that wall. Going to try to get a great run using a little bit of that momentum to come on down, put down a bad fast lap, see if he can't start on pole. Kind of keeping up with the one and only Brian Pizzicemi earlier. The man's bad fast. Fastest in practice. I was kind of teasing him a little bit and saying, hey, you're going to start in the back and try to race your way through the field? Or what do you think is in the cards for you tonight? He goes, Pete, I don't know. So I guess we're about to find out. If he races through the field, and this is his favorite track or one of his favorite tracks, could be a very exciting race for that number 78, but we'll just have to see. He's always thankful for Team Watson Racing setups. Will they guide him to a pole, or will they bring him through the field? We'll just have to wait and see. Right now, Ed Robertson is on the top, as you see there on the scoring pylon on the left-hand side. Tyler Burden, he's welcome back to the time winner ranks. The same thing as the fastest man in town, or was the fastest man in town, William Gay. But Ed Robertson on his second lap went back to be the fastest in the field. Here it is. This is the test right now. This number 78 TWRS Silverado coming through turns, I want to say that's 3 and 4. Yep, through 3 and 4. Through the tri-oval. You see him really wrapping that bottom there. We'll have to see. His first lap was good enough for P11. Right now, second lap, good enough for P2 as Austin Collins puts his machine on the front row, at least for now. Mike Carter out here in his number 18 Interstate Batteries machine. I've always loved this paint scheme, and yeah, nothing has changed. There's just something about this color scheme that absolutely works. Talking about a guy that works, how about this guy right here in his HenderCars.com number 07. Talking about Mike York. Haven't seen this guy race in quite a while. Work has been kind of prohibiting that from him on Sunday nights. Well, he's back, and it's going to be interesting to see what Mike York is going to be able to do once he shakes off a little bit of the rust. Mike Pop Bear Campbell looks like he is done. Stan Carnathan now. He's out here in his number 33, off turn number 4 through the tri-oval. And this, I believe, is going to be his first lap, as that's going to be good enough for P17. Nope, that might have actually been his second lap. Good enough for P17. Justin Anscock in this lucky or unlucky rowdy machine. This Toyota TRD truck, very fast on any given week. First lap, good enough for P13. Let's see what his second lap is good enough for as he comes through turns 3 and 4 on the bottom. Going to let the truck drift all the way up to the wall, opening up that wheel. And as he comes through the, or across the start stripe rather, it looks like he's going to slot in for P3. Chris Weaver out here in his Fox 8 Plus machine. Looks like right now he's going to slot in P16. I'm sorry, 17 rather. Charlie Mosley in his 89 is going to be 16th. Jose Ruiz right now out there in his Columbia Toyota TRD machine. This is Jose's first lap. So we'll see what he's capable of here, what it sets him up as, and then where he goes on his second lap. First lap good enough for P11. All the way on the bottom, it looks like he's going to call that a day. All right, Jimmy Cocker out there right now in his Virginia Tech number 20. Another Toyota as he comes across the start stripe. Jimmy Cocker right now, that was good enough for P7. Can he get any better on a second lap? Second lap kind of up a little bit, coming down the back stretch, and he looks like he has cut it off. All right, so that looks like is everybody, and I believe that's going to be the end of qualifying as well, or very, very close to it. Yep, that's going to be the end of qualifying. All right, so let's empty the boards. And let's go ahead and pick up with our man on the pole, talking about Austin Collins in that number 74 machine. So let's go ahead and pull up your grid. It's going to be Austin Collins in that number 74, sitting P1 with Brian Piscemi in the 78, rounding out the first row. P3 is going to be Justin Anaskog in the 13 with Andrew Chapman in the 25. Ed Robertson in the 64 is going to be P5 with Mike York in the 07 P6. P7 looks like Jimmy Cocker in that number 20 Toyota TRD machine with John Osborne in the 81 to his outside. P9 looks like Mike Miller in the 5 with Scott Rickard in the 05 for P10. Top 12 looks like Tom Harmon in his Avril Lavigne number 68 with Jose Ruiz in the 23 to his outside. P13 looks like William Gay in the 75 with Chris Murphy sitting 14th. Kenny Lind in the 57 sitting P15 with Tyler Burden in the 06 16th. 17th is going to be Josh Taylor in the 30 with Charlie Mosley Jr. in the 89 P18. P19, Chris Weaver in that number 8 with Doug King to his outside in the 87. Mike Carter in the 18, 21st. 22nd is going to be Bruce Dudley in the 26. 23rd is going to be Mike Pop Bear Campbell in that number 71 with Stan Carnathan in the 33. 24th, last but not least, Elric George in that number 40 sitting P25, and Claire Murphy in the deuce. Last but not least, shotgun on the field as we're going to get ready to roll off. Just waiting on the final trucks to go ahead and grid. We're going to bring these guys around the field and get ready to roll. All right, let's go ahead and empty that out, bring up everything that we're going to need for tonight's race. Again, big welcome to everybody out there. This is the Turned Out for What iRacing Truck Series presented by the Network Alliance for Veterans at networkallianceforveterans.com. Superior Blaze says that qualifying attempt was for you. Of course, that's the one and only Brian Piscemi talking about that, and here he is up top. Very high, wide, and handsome. And you see the whole field behind him. Justin Anaskog on the 13. There's the 64 of Ed Robertson. And everybody getting ready to fire off. All right. Down the backstretch. 2 by 2 the entire way. 26 truckers. So 13 rows of 2 by 2 all the way down the backstretch here in the Queen City. It's going to be a phenomenal race. Glad all of you are out there, whether you're out there in the land of Twitch or YouTube. Please, if you haven't already, go on over, smash that follow button. Make sure you keep the notifications bell on so you know every time the Turned Out for What iRacing Truck Series goes live. Let's go ahead and bring it on over to Barney. He should have the green flag in hand. There it is. We're getting ready to fire off. Let's go.
Green.
Green flag. Off of turn number 4, looks like it's going to be Austin Collins. Started on pole. He's going to go ahead and grab a point for leading the very first lap. Right behind him, Andrew Chapman in that number 25 with Brian Piscemi to his inside. 2 by 2 for the next couple rows. Might even try a little bit of 3 wide. Not going to work. They're going to go ahead and get single file behind second and third here. Still a great battle here. The 25 trying to hold on that outside. Kind of pinching Brian Pizzagami down just a tad. They're going to maybe touch doors just a little bit. That 25 Dirty Mo progressive machine. Very fast. 78 is going to be able to shoot the bottom and keep that spot all to himself. A couple spots behind. Looks like it's going to be the 64 of Ed Robertson, as Brian Pizzagami so far posting the fastest lap of the evening, going purple with a 29.93. Austin Collins very close as well, but Brian Pizzagami grabbing those honors. The 07 Mike York, you see him just in front of the 20 for Jimmy Cocker and Scott Rickard. There's a brand new fastest man in Charlotte. As Kemi says, oh yeah, I could do that just a little bit better. Posting 81 to Austin Collins 91. The 20 Virginia Tech machine getting a little loose. It looks like caution number 1 is going to fly. So far, I haven't got a cause for it as of yet, but nope, looks like it's going to have something to do with William Gay. So let's go ahead and jump back with his machine. See if we can find out exactly what happened here and play it back. All right, let's get on over to our chase cam. Back here with this Costa number 75. Let's play this ahead. All right, coming off forward. He's got a whole lot of clean track. Gets a little bit of momentum. Pulls up to the outside or the right rear of Stan Carnathan going into turns 1 and 2. Got a little bit of that bump action going on. Looks like right there he's kind of clear Stan, little loose. Going to possibly give that truck up ahead just a little bit of a shot. And it looks like him and Stan get together. And as he slides up track, catches the wall with the left front and the left rear. It looks like he went ahead and towed. All right, let's go ahead and bring it on back. All right. So it's definitely way too early to pit. Let's see if we can find the one and only Austin Collins. Maybe bring him on up, see what he thinks about his chances here at Charlotte in his Team Watson racing machine. There he is down there in Team ORL. Austin, it's repeat up in the booth, but you got a quick copy there from the pole and still sitting first.
I hear you, Pete.
All right, Austin. So you fired off really well, grabbed the lead, able to lead the first few laps, gaining a point for that as well. What are your chances here at Charlotte tonight, grabbing the checkers all for yourself?
Not sure yet. We'll find out here in about 128 laps. It's kind of a dogfight for clean air, and then, like I said, it's going to be depending on just what our runs look like. So we'll do what we can here.
All right, buddy. I'll get you back on down with the rest of your team. As always, sir, keep the shiny side up, and maybe we'll be talking to you again later on with that Team Watson Taco Bell machine.
Hopefully, Pete.
Hopefully. No doubt. Never a doubt in my mind when it comes to you. All right, again, one more time. That is the pilot of this number 74, Austin Collins, and we get him back on down with the rest of his team. Team ORL consisting of, I just had it a moment ago, Austin Collins, of course. Looks like Jimmy Cocker, Brian Pizzagami, Scott Rickard, and of course the one and only Tom Harmon. All right, getting back 2 by 2, getting all racked and stacked, back up, ready to go. Next time by, lights, top, and pace truck are out. Look, and since yes, Stan Carnathan was involved in that, which, depending on what race control feels, he may or may not get an EOL. We'll have to, the controllers will take care of that side of the business. And as of right now, it looks like Stan Carnathan is still sitting P18, up 6 spots from where he started, so it may not have felt like he was at fault. All right, guys in the back right now: Elric George, Justin Ascott, Kenny Lind, John Osborne, and Bruce Dudley. That's 20th through 24th. Chris Weaver, something must have happened with him because he's showing off track right now, right along with William Gay. All right, back up front. we're about ready to fire it off again. Pace truck in just a moment is going to go ahead and pull it on down pit road, get out of the way. That way this Team Watson Racing setup front row can get on that loud pedal and take care of business. All right, let's bring it on back to Barney in the tower. Let's go back racing.
Green flag, green flag.
Turn number 4, 74 is going to go ahead and lead yet another one. That is definitely a perk of being the control truck, control car, whatever you want to say. You are always the first one on the loud pedal, so you get that immediate jump where everybody else has to wait on you, and usually you end up snookering the guy to your inside or outside, depending on which lane you choose, because you're the first one on that loud pedal. Fizikemi and Chapman still running side by side right behind him. Kind of the second verse, same as the first from what we saw before. But it looks like the 18 again is going to be able to be, have maybe just a little bit more run, or the 25 said, you know what, I'm just going to let you go. There's no sense in racing right now, as now we see about first through 10th, at least back through Jimmy Cocker and more, where everybody's pretty much single file. A little bit of a battle up here. 64 Red Robertson pulls to the inside, the 05 of Scott Rickard. Rickard's going to try to keep him at bay as the 05 gets a pretty good launch off the high side, but the 07 of Mike York, there we go, gave that 64 just a little bit of a push through the trial wall, and it kept the 64 right at bay. So they're still side by side down the back stretch. 25 kind of guiding both lines. Both trucks kind of waiting to see which line is going to move first. The 05 of Rickard around the outside of the 64. Now the 64 and the 07 of Mike York. They're a little bit of side by side. Mike's going to be clear behind the 64 going into turns 1 and 2. But it looks like so far he's chosen to keep that high side, as now Mike Miller in the 5 draws a bead on that HendrickCars.com number 07, a long single file line all the way down the backstretch. But still right ahead of these guys, you see the 05 and the 25 side by side leaders. Brian Fizikemi and Austin Collins kind of getting away just a little bit. That dirty mode number 25, a little bit of momentum, puts the 05 right behind. 64 of Ed Robertson kind of riding right there in groove also. Let's go ahead and actually, one thing I didn't do before, pull up our track map. That way you can see where everybody is for the evening. Right now, pretty much everybody's still right there and doing all right. Take a look at the nose camera from Brian Fizikemi in this number 78 Silverado. Just kind of riding, just staying right there. I would imagine kind of minding his business. Not really following right in the tire tracks of the 74. That way he's able to kind of save his right front tire just a little bit as we look behind back to Scott Rickard. Scott Rickard right now sitting P3. He's got a mirror full of Andrew Chapman in that 25. You also see Mike York up high in the 07. That high side seems to have a little bit of momentum, but coming off of turn number 2 and turn 4, sometimes can be a little tight up on the high side. It's also very, very bumpy. So So the 07 is going to have to be careful just a little bit, and that's how the 25 pulled back into the inside of Mike York's Silverado off of turn number 4. That turn, again, very, very tight. Looks like the one and only Josh Taylor has a little bit of a battle now between himself and Jimmy Cocker. Both of these guys raced together on Monday nights as well in the Shake and Bake iRacing Gen 6 Cup Series. That series right now is in the chase, and points there are very, very tight. Make sure you tune in tomorrow evening right around 8:15 p.m. Eastern on the Frozen Toes 24 Twitch channel. Be able to keep up with everything that happens from Watkins Glen. Just like 3 or 4 races left in that season, and it's been very, very tight throughout the entire season. A little bit further in the back, battle back here between Mike Pop Bear Campbell, the 06 of Tyler Burden, Bruce Dudley, and more. Right now, Mike Campbell up on the high side. He's got the 06 down low. He's got the, I want to say that's the 26 of Bruce Dudley right up his tailgate as the 6 gets a little bit of a push going into turns 3 and 4. They're 2 wide. Are we possibly going to see a 3 wide here? Nope, the 26 had to check up, and just so we didn't end up in a big old wad of trucks, but great racing back here amongst this little pack. So you're seeing the 42. Oh, it looks like 42 actually tagging the 13 of Justin Hanesigok. Hanesigok able to save it, but did end up in the outside wall. And Justin's going to have a little bit of damage to that number 13 Rowdy Machine. What do you say we take a look around the outside of this truck, see what these fenders look like, and see what it looks like from the front as well. Looks like the right front doing okay. Let's take a look at the fenders, shall we? Oh, wrong side. That's looking okay. Right front looking okay as well. So it doesn't really look like much harm to the truck, but definitely loss of track position. This guy can definitely get on up there and get back up with them better than most that I know. Right now he's behind the 81 of John Osborne. Just has to make light work of the rest of the field, try to gain all that track position back. Right now, Justin Hanesigok is down 21 spots on the evening. Back up front, looks like we got a new leader. Brian Pizzakemi got around Austin Collins to take the lead and also grab a point for leading a lap. Let's see if we can figure out exactly how that happened. Couldn't have been too long ago. Let's see where this happens, shall we? All right, so it looks like he was able to get to the outside, and he got that number 78 really wound up. And yeah, 74 had no choice but to let the lead go. And Pizzakemi moves himself to the front. Again, just before qualifying kicked off, he said, "This is my track." Well, he's proven it very, very fast. Usually Pizzakemi, he won't really qualify. He'll just start in the back and try to work his way through. Loves this track. Able to qualify in top 2. And right now, he's running in that number 1 spot. Let's go ahead and bring it back live.
All right, man. Caution is out.
Caution is out. Let's see if we can find out exactly what for. Might have something to do with Doug King. So we'll have to wait here just a moment. It says Bruce Dudley jumped to the pits and Doug King also went off track. So let's go back with Doug King, see if we can find out exactly or possibly what happened here. We're going to go ahead and rewind this just a bit. Actually, let's go over to... Nope, not John Osborne, not Papa Bear. It's not going to be... Let's flip this camera around, shall we? And let's go on up a little bit. All right, let's play this out right here. Nope, it's going to be behind him. It wasn't Stan Carnathan, but let's back up. Let's back Stan up right quick. See if we could possibly see who that was. All right, so it's the 40. It's the truck that's showing the 42, but I want to say that's actually it's not the 89. 26. There we go. All right, so let's back this up just a tad. All right, let's get on behind. Now let's play this out. Let's back it up a little bit more. He's definitely riding the wall for just a bit. And let's play this out. You see Stan Carnathan trying to work his way under. Stan's able to keep it going. 42 taking it around. And blinking at the same... Nope. Yeah, he's done. All right, so let's go ahead and bring it back live. He's on pit road. It looks like everybody decided to come on down pit road, including Mike York. Brian Pizzakemi right now sitting P2. Austin Collins third. So let's see if we can grab... Let me see if I can find Mike York. Yes, I can. Let's go ahead and bring him on up to the booth here right quick. Mike York is repeat up in the booth. First and foremost, of course, as I said earlier, welcome back to the Turn Down for What iRacing Truck Series ranks, presented by NAV, that HendrickCars.com 07 machine. Looking pretty sporty. How you feeling about Charlotte Motor Speedway and being back on under the Sunday night lights, sir?
Well, I appreciate you, Pete. No, truck's good. I just made a mistake there. I should not be in the lead, but got to come in. I guess I only had 2 tires checked, so
okay.
It can be fun coming from the back, I guess. But yeah, I appreciate you, and yeah, it's fun being back. Truck's fast. I just got to keep it together.
All right, buddy. I'll get you back on down with John Osborne, Stan Carnathan, and Tyler Burton under Eons Motorsports. As always, sir, good luck. Keep the shiny side up, and maybe we'll be talking to you again when it's all said and done.
Thanks, sir.
You got it. All right, man, one more time. That is the pilot of that HendrickCars.com 07, the one and only Mike York. All right, back down he goes. So that Brian Pizzakemi able to re-inherit the lead after coming down pit road. We are all racked and stacked back up 2 by 2. Lights, top, and pace trucks are out. Going down the backstretch. Pizzakemi, Collins, Rickard, Chapman, Harmon, Mike Miller, Josh Taylor, Ed Robertson, Jimmy Cocker, and Jose Ruiz are our top 10. Jacob NASCAR out there in the land of Twitch says, hey, Pete, how are you? Jacob, I am doing absolutely well. Can't wait for tomorrow night's race at the Glen. Hope to see you there. But other than that, this is the Turn Down for What iRacing Truck Series presented by the Network Alliance for Veterans. Charlotte Motor Speedway, Beast of the Southeast, the Queen City, whatever you want to say, coming to lap 30 of 134, so 104 laps remaining on the docket for tonight. Pace Truck's going to go ahead and make that hard left towards pit road. We're going to get back up, get racy. Let's go.
Green flag, green flag.
Green flag. right, off the exit of 4, Brian Pizzacami able to keep the lead to his outside, though. Got a challenge from the 05 of Scott Rickard. Again, Scott was very fast in practice. Right now, kind of exhibiting a little bit of that speed, little tail happy off of turn number 2. Able to keep pace down the backstretch, side by side. Got 25 of Andrew Chapman right in tow. Andrew's waiting to see how this one works out. Behind him got Austin Collins and Tom Harmon. Harmon now up 5 spots in his Avril Lavigne Silverado. So he's working through the tail end of the tri-oval. Down low, he's got the 5 of Mike Miller to his outside. Josh Taylor in that Valvoline Mark Martin throwback Silverado for himself. Good to see Josh moving on up. Right now, Josh up 10 spots on the evening. He's not quite the biggest mover. The biggest mover right now is going to be a little bit further back. We're talking about Claire Murphy in the deuce as he comes off turn number 4, kind of pegging the wall just a little bit. But I think right now, no harm, no foul. Able to keep it going. The 33 Stan Carney going to pull to his inside, side by side through turns 1 and 2. Whole field right now piling their machines down the backstretch. Pizzacami and Rickard still battling it out. Rickard having right now to settle for P number 2. Andrew Chapman 3rd, Austin Collins 4th, Mike Miller rounds out the top 5. All right, ladies and gents, what he said, we do a little bit of a crank it up session. Working lap 34 of 134 here in the Turnout for What iRacing Truck Series presented by the Network Alliance for Veterans at networkallianceforveterans.com. As always, I'll go ahead and put the link for the sponsor, the title sponsor, out there in chat. If you are a veteran or if you know of a veteran, please make sure to pass along this website. You never know what kind of benefit it can give them. And as being a veteran of either the Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, Coast Guard, Space Force, whatever it might be, you never know. They may need it. And, I mean, there are all kinds of benefits. There's all kinds of programs. Make sure you pass that along to your favorite veteran or veterans and let them know that there's help out there. All right, so as I was saying, let's go ahead and do a little bit of a crank it up session, work our way through the field, show off a couple of these cameras. Let's start with our leader, Brian Pizzacami, and we'll work our way through the field. Let's go. How about that, huh? Sights and sounds of Charlotte Motor Speedway in the turn down for what iRacing Truck Series. Working lap 47 coming to lap 48 of 134. Jacob NASCAR says, you're on my outdoor TV on a 5.1 sound system. Crank it up. Why not? Welcome back. Welcome back, Jacob. Jimmy Cocker right now sitting P10 down 3 spots in that Virginia Tech number 20. Not quite sure if you saw. If you haven't, please take the TikTok or YouTube videos or whatever. Virginia Tech does the exit light enter night for their football team entrance. Metallica song. Look that up on YouTube. It is absolutely awesome. When they did it and Metallica held a concert there, it actually set off the seismic radar. Seismic radar is what they use to measure earthquakes. The stands erupted so loudly and stomped so hard when the concert kicked off. It actually set off those seismic detectors, made it sound or made it feel like it was a 1.0 magnitude earthquake. How kick-ass is that? Caution's going to be out for the 3rd time this evening, working lap number 50. Looks like Claire Murphy and Stan Carnathan might have something to do with this one. Let's go back with these guys right now, see if we can find out exactly what happened. Let's go ahead and pull up our chase cam. Nope, I said our chase cam. There we go. And let's see what happens. This is Claire Murphy in the deuce. Stan Carnathan also possibly involved, maybe even Doug King. But let's go ahead and play this out, see if we can find out exactly what happened. You definitely see the 07 of Mike York a little loose right there. That's going to be the 33 of Stan Carnathan to his outside. They are 3 wide right here. And it looks like Stan, did he get the deuce a little loose? Maybe packing a little air. No, it actually looks like the 2 just gets a little loose by himself, ends up clipping the left rear of the 33, and then just gets sent around by a few others in the back, including the 40 of Elric George. So very, very unfortunate. Let's actually watch that again from Stan's point of view, shall we? Here he is, kind of checking up for the 07 a little bit. Has a little bit of a run, but chooses not to take it. They do go 3 wide for just a moment. Stan backs out of it. Let's actually stop this right here. Let's pull up with the left front and see exactly how close this actually gets. Here is that left front, and let's play this very slowly, shall we? I think the 2 actually ends up clipping the inside just a tad and gets him loose. I don't know, maybe just a very, very slight difference there. Boy, that was very slight, and it's well before the 33 may or may not have even touched him. And then the rest, this is where the 2 comes back up and just barely tags the 33. Actually, a little bit of net code there, but that's not net code from behind, and that one hurt. All right, let's go ahead and bring it back live. All right, Brian Pizzicami is the leader. Austin Collins right now sitting P2. Lights atop the pace truck are still on. Let's see if we can find old Mr. Pizzicami here right quick down there with Team ORL, and let's bring him on up to the booth. Mr. Pizzicami is repeat up in the booth, bud. You got a quick copy in that 78?
Yes, sir, I do.
All right, buddy. You chose to qualify this time. Started on the front row. Nice change of pace. Thank you very much. And now you've got all the clean air on the nose of that Silverado. You said that this is undoubtedly one of your most favorite tracks. Walk us through your strategy and how you plan on grabbing the checkers for yourself this evening, sir.
Oh, the strategy tonight is just keep that right front on it. This thing gets so tight so quickly, and with how much dirty air affects it, you really want to be in clean air. Eventually, I'm going to have to start using the top because it's going to come in at some point to be faster. But right now, I don't want to show my hand too soon on that because we're currently doing quite well. Although I'm scared of a certain car in fourth right now, so we'll see how this goes.
No, Harmon? Why would you be scared of Harmon? But anywho, I hear that the top is pretty tight. I know you're going to be going back green. Good luck. I know there's a whole lot of bumps up there as well, but you know what you're doing better than I do. I'll get you back on down with Team ORL right now, sir. Keep the shiny side up. Let's go.
All right. Thank you, sir.
You got it, buddy. Here we go. So one more time, pilot of that number 78 TWRS Team Watson Racing setups. Silverado 74 starting to his outside. And we're about to fire off one more time. Barney's about ready to put away that yellow flag and bring the green back out. That way we can mash loud on that, mash hard rather, on that loud pedal one more time and get back underway. Starting lap 54 right now. Pizkemi, Collins, Rickard, Harmon, and Chapman are the top 5. Green flag. All right, 78 able to hold the 05 of Rickard at bay. Rickard right now up 8 spots to P number 2. Brian Pizkemi said he's worried about that truck that was sitting in P4. Well, right now that P4 truck now up to P3. Talking about the one and only Tom Harmon in his Avril Lavigne number 68 Silverado. This guy's bad fast every single week. Doesn't matter what kind of track we're at. You can always count on him to move his way to the front as the night progresses. Right now, battle right behind him though. 74 of Austin Collins and Mike Miller in the 5. Looks like the 5 might have a little bit of an edge on that high side, using the momentum and also a little bit of the draft from the 68 right ahead. So Austin Collins can now find himself in P number 5. Andrew Chapman right behind in that progressive Dirty Mo number 25 Toyota TRD machine. And how about Jose Ruiz right now up 5 spots to P number 7. And then Josh Taylor on the high side in his Valvoline Mark Martin throwback and those red, white, and blue colors. And then of course that Virginia Tech number 20 for the one and only Jimmy Cocker. Justin Aniscock, we saw him spinning earlier. Right now finds himself back up inside or close to cracking the full top 10. Sitting P10 right now. Kenny Lind right behind. And then it's going to be Mike York, Chris Murphy, Tyler Burden, and Mike Carter to round out the top 15. Mike Carter in those Interstate Battery colors right behind the 06 of Tyler Burden. Chris Murphy and the 07. Battle of the 7s here. Mike York in the 07, Chris Murphy in the 7. Looks like Mike York's going to get a little bit of a run off the high side, pulling that truck up right in front of the 06 as the 06 and 18 now side by side crossing the start stripe. Pizkemi up front still holding on to that lead. Hasn't had to fight much with Scott Rickard in the beginning of this, like we saw very early. But right now, keeping that 05 at bay. A little bit further back, a little bit of a battle here. People that know each other very well. Talking about Jimmy Cocker in the 13 of Justin Aniscock. You'll be able to see Jimmy Cocker continue to fight for a championship tomorrow evening in the Chicken Thing iRacing Gen 6 Cup Series. Cocker is part of the chase. Aniscock is not after missing too many races. 23 of Jose Ruiz now to his outside. Jose Ruiz having to check up just a little bit. Now turn 4 wall comes up very, very quickly. Coming up on a lap truck, that was the 33 of Stan Carnathan, as he's either just getting out of the way or is planning or was making another pit stop. It looks like he is on pit road, so I'm going to guess the damage that Stan Carnathan had to his machine was a little bit more extensive. I'm not quite sure. Nope, looks like he's going to go ahead and put right side tires on that thing, as well as possibly lefts. Come on back out. Yep, there goes the left side. And Stan Carnathan will come on back out and try to get as many points as he can for the rest of the evening, hoping that another couple of cautions will come on out and he'll be able to fix that truck just a little bit more. Back up front, here's your top three: Brian Piskemi, Scott Rickard, and Mike Miller. All a little bit of a gap, about a truck and a half. Back to the 68 of Tom Harmon. Austin Collins also right there in his number 74. Austin led quite a few of his the early laps. Jacob NASCAR says unscheduled pit stop. No, Jacob, I think he's just having to fix up a little bit more of the damage that he got from the last caution, where he got clipped by the two after the two ended up taking a ride through the infield grass. Everybody right now single file from first all the way back, or so it would seem, kind of working our way through. No real big fights just yet. Here's Ed Robertson in the 71 of Mike Pop Bear Campbell. Of course, Mike Pop Bear Campbell, owner, operator, and lead admin here in the Turndown for What iRacing Truck Series. He sent a message over to Lieutenant Colonel retired Cecil Ross, let him know that we were going to be back live tonight from Charlotte Motor Speedway. And if you're brand new here, please go on over, smash that follow, whether you're out there in the land of Twitch or YouTube. We definitely appreciate it, and it goes a great way in adjusting the algorithms for the channel. So definitely appreciate that. Looking ahead from Mike Campbell's Ford, as you see everybody in front of him, single file. There goes the deuce of Claire Murphy down pit road. I'm going to guess he had some damage as well. Didn't want to maybe try to hold on as long as he could, but once he was getting lapped, there's no reason not to go down pit road, grab another set of Eagle Feel Goods, maybe fix up a little bit of that damage, and then come on back out. Let's see, Claire Murphy, here he is now in his pit stall. You can definitely see some damage to the side of the deuce. Not quite sure if he went ahead and called it a night or if he's just on the damage clock. You could definitely see, or I'll make it a little bit easier to see. Definitely has some damage on the front end of that G Fuel Toyota TRD machine. Hoping he can get back out there and get after it, rejoin the fight on track. Working lap 68 of 134, officially halfway in this Turndown for What iRacing Truck Series race from the Beast of the Southeast. Big thank you again to Lieutenant Colonel Cecil Ross, retired, of our United States Army, and everything that he does with the Network Alliance for veterans. Again, ladies and gents, if you're a veteran or if you know a veteran, you got a veteran in your family, I'm going to go ahead and post a link out there one more time. Make sure you copy it down and give it to whoever you know that has retired from our armed forces. Again, whether it's Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, Coast Guard, Space Force, whatever. Yeah, isn't it funny now? Space Force has actually started to have its own retirees. Anybody that switched over from the U.S. Air Force over to Space Force, done their time retiring, you never know. If you're in the great state of Indiana or any of the surrounding states, or even if you're not there, copy down that link, give it to your favorite veteran or veterans, and let them know that there is help, support, and a venue for questions to be asked and answered at any given point. All right, so that is riding around with Brian Pizzicemi, looking back, and you see the whole field running single file for the most part. Looking back a little bit deeper in the field, you see the 20 of Jimmy Cocker on the outside of Josh Taylor. Right now, Josh Taylor is flagged as being the biggest mover. He's sitting in P9 up 8 spots on the evening. A close second, few spots behind is going to be Mike Carter in his Interstate Batteries number 18. He's got Ed Robertson all up his tailpipe, up by the wall. Well, I think that slowed down both of those guys just a little bit. Here comes the 06 of Tyler Burton looking low. These two high, wide, and handsome right in each other's draft. Trying to get after it. You see the 33 there of Stan Carnathan. Stan Carnathan right now running behind them, but not on the lead lap. Right now, Stan is up 3 spots in P21. Doug King, right where he qualified right now in his number 87 Silverado, started 20th, and he continues to run 20th. The same thing as the 06 as he fights underneath the 64 of Ed Robertson. The 06 started in 16th, and that's right where he continues to run as well. New biggest mover, Tom Harmon, I knew it was just going to be a matter of time. Able to continue to fight his way through the field. Now up 9 spots to P2. Hunting down the back end of that number 78 of Brian Pizzichemi. Going to try to get up there and lead some laps. But usually when this machine gets that Silverado nose in the air and all that clean air is getting dumped on that hood, it's usually lights out for the rest of the field. Long way to go, though. Working lap 76 of 134 here from Charlotte Motor Speedway. What a great race it's been. 3 cautions in the books so far. But some very, very fast drivers out here doing their thing. Stan Carnathan back on pit road. Same thing with Mike Carter in the 18. Doug King right now is the truck on track right now, running in the last place. But Mike Carter, Stan Carnathan, Claire Murphy, Elric George, Bruce Dudley, and Chris Weaver all having issues this evening. The last 4, Claire Murphy, he's on track, so I take that back. But Elric George is retired, Bruce Dudley's retired, Chris Weaver is retired. Claire Murphy on track in his deuce, and that's about that. Jacob NASCAR says, I do have a PA speaker. Should I look it up? Not quite sure what you mean by that. A PA speaker to me is a public address speaker. It's one of those, kind of like a bullhorn, if you will. '74 really running that high side, carrying a whole lot of momentum off the corner. He's now got the draft of the guys up front. He's just got to try to do what he can with it to pull himself up. Meanwhile, he's also got Scott Rickard just a little bit further back. He needs Scott to also work his way on up, maybe give him a little bit of a push. But Austin Collins definitely getting closer and closer to the draft of both Brian Pizzichemi and Tom Harmon for the top 2. He might really want to see these guys battle side by side. That way it kind of slows them both down just a little bit. Mike Campbell says, Pete, amazing broadcast as always. I appreciate you, Mike. Unfortunately, I know that you can't be out here racing with us due to some technical difficulties, or I should say up in the admin tower, kind of doing some race control duties. Last week I think was your headset, and this week your mouse no good. But that's all right, Mike. We're always here. A little bit further in the back, you see Jimmy Cocker kind of mixing it up with the 5, Mike Miller. Mike Miller up on the high side, 20 down low. There's the 05 as well. And you've got, again, Mike Miller right behind. Then you see the 57 back there of Kenny Lind. Kenny Lind right now wondering which line is going to move for him. So hopefully he can work his way on through a little bit. Mike Miller says, yep, I'm in race control. Track time coming soon. All right. All right, so what do you say we do one more crank it up session, kind of work our way through the field? Let me know out there in chat who you want to see. Who's your driver? Which pony do you, which horse or which pony do you have in this show that you want to see work their way through the field and get on up there for their own set of checkers? Let's go. right, we're back. How about that? Again, one more time, the sights and sounds of Charlotte Motor Speedway here in the turn down for what iRacing Truck Series. Great battle for the lead, able to switch some things around, watching that all unfold between Tom Harmon and Brian Pizzicemi, and then, of course, throughout the back half of the field as well. Right now, this is Jose Ruiz with the 64 of Ed Robertson right underneath, and, of course, Jimmy Cocker in that Virginia Tech number 20. Both of those guys running high, wide, and handsome, as it looks like we've got some green flag pit stops underway. Justin Ascock in his Rowdy number 13 is going to go ahead and bring it to the attention of his crew. The same thing with Doug King and his Chevrolet Performance number 87. Ascock going on by in that Rowdy, looks like Silverado. Going to pull to his pit stall. Did he overshoot it? Nope. He's going to get right there. You see the right sides go up. Going to grab 4 brand new Eagle Feel Goods and work his way back on out. Looks like Pizzicemi, he's also going to go ahead and surrender the lead second place rather, to come on down pit road. Maybe try to undercut Tom Harmon, since Harmon is still out there on track and not coming in, or didn't come in last time. So I have to see what this looks like for Tom Harmon. 4 brand new Eagle Feel Goods, definitely faster than any tire set that's out there. Harmon looking like he's going to dip below that blue line, try to carry as much speed as he can to the stripe. He does just that, doesn't lock him up, but you could bet your bottom dollar that when he gets to his pit box, it'll be 4 brand new Eagle Feel Goods and fill it up with that Sunoco E15 fuel and come on back out. Austin Collins also on pit road, so is Kenny Lind, Jose Ruiz, Jimmy Cocker, and so many others. So we'll have to see who takes or who inherits the lead, with Austin Collins on pit road in the 74. That he's right now showing as the leader, as Harmon goes ahead and pulls his machine off pit road. There goes Mike York and Justin Ascock, Brian Pizzicemi, and so many more. But it looks like Mike York, by virtue of pitting about 8 or 9 laps sooner, he's going to go ahead and take the lead away with 34 laps remaining in his HendrickCars.com number 07. He's got just about a half-second lead over Justin Ascock. Ascock pitted on lap 97, Pizzicemi on 98, Harmon on 99, Scott Rickard on 98, same for Andrew Chapman, Mike Miller on lap 97, 94 for Tyler Burden, Austin Collins, and Kenny Lind to round out the top 10, both on lap 99. Battle for the lead as Justin Ascock going to go ahead and fly by Mike York. There we go. And man, what an interesting turn of events. You know, we saw Justin Ascock get turned around, got put up into the outside wall. We took a look at the fenders, no damage for him whatsoever, and now he just went ahead and took over the lead from Mike York. York going to go ahead and fall back by about 0.6 behind Ascock, now 8, working closer and closer to a full second. But he's also, Ascock now has a 2.8 second lead over Pizzicemi, another second back to Tom Harmon, another second back to Scott Rickard. I mean, you could see there on the scoring pylon that the time is just adding up. 1.2 seconds now back to York, 2.7 to Pizzicemi, 3.7 to Harmon, 4.7 to Rickard, 5.2 to Chapman, 5.3 to Miller, and the time just continues to grow. So Justin Ascock in this number 13, showing to not quite be an unlucky number this evening. Right now doing all right, 30 laps remaining here from Charlotte. Let's see what this gap looks like from behind. There you go. So with Ascock going down on lap 97, and Austin Collins on 99, Andrew Chapman 98, Tom Harmon 99. I mean, the difference in tires is only going to be 2 laps. So from here they can make it the rest of the way. Ken Pizzikemi say, by virtue of saying that this is his favorite track. If we take a look from his nose up at Anasagak, it's barely. I mean, he could barely see him as he comes across the start stripe. Anasagak's already going into turns 1 and 2. As he gets into 1 and 2, Anasagak is already halfway through the corner, getting closer and closer to the exit. So Anasagak, he's no slouch at this track either. We'll have to see what Pizzikemi is able to do and how much he's able to work his way back up toward the lead. Shout out to this guy right here. Josh Taylor says, yep, he was going to stream his race tonight over on his Twitch channel. Now, More Smoke over on Twitch. And he said, Pete, might even see a few more people pop into your stream. Well, if you're kind of keeping an eye on the one and only Josh Taylor or More Smoke, and also watching the race here, definitely appreciate you. Please don't forget, go on down, smash that follow button. Make sure you keep the notifications on so you know every time this channel or the Turn Down for What Truck Series goes live. Definitely appreciate you. Straight Out Alaska says, let's go, Justin. Couldn't agree more. Justin right now leading the way. Jacob Mascar says, outside, watching on my TV with my TX312 speaker hooked up. Sounds incredible. How about that? Jumping into the cockpit with the one and only Justin Anasagak as he exits the trioval, getting down and dirty into turns 1 and 2. Just barely breathing the throttle, guiding that truck along that blue line, opening up the wheel, let it eat up and off the corner, down the backstretch. Right now, going to do the same thing here in turns 3 and 4. Going to get out of the throttle, just burp it ever so slightly. You see him sawing on that wheel. That tells me the truck is handling very, very well. Able to get back to about 12 o'clock on that wheel before even coming off of the corner. That's a very fast truck right now. Justin Anasagak leading laps. Clean air is king no matter what track you're at. And right now, Justin Anasagak with a good 3-second lead over Brian Pizzikemi. The last time we saw Brian Pizzikemi, he was at 2+, now 3+. That tells me Justin's feeling pretty good about his rowdy machine. Jacob NASCAR says, can't have it too loud because of the neighbors. You only live once. All right, caution's out. This is not something that Justin wanted to see up in the lead. Looks like Mike York is going to have something to say about this. Let's see if we can go back with Mike York right quick and pick up with what happened in his machine. There he is up by the wall. Let's go ahead and bring back our chase cam. HendrickCars.com Silverado, and let's go ahead and play this out. 07 high, wide, and handsome. Off of turn number 2, really keeping it up by the wall, letting it eat down the back straightaway. Here comes Jimmy Cocker in that Virginia Tech number 20, just behind, throwing it low. 07 still up high, no contact there. Looks like he might have got a little loose there. 06 coming on up. Tags the left rear. Mike York kind of trying to keep that thing locked down. Other than that, no real harm, no foul. Just very unfortunate for Mike York getting a little loose and the 06 not able to check up in time. All right, let's go ahead and bring it back live. All right, Justin Anasagak, let's go ahead and see if we can find him. Usually not too hard to find. Let's go ahead and bring him on up as he brings the rest of his field down pit road. But we're going to let his spotter count him down, and then we'll pick up with him here in just a moment.
Hi, Pete.
Rowdy, I didn't want to interrupt you. That way you didn't miss your pit stall. That number 13 looked bad fast. I know you did not want this yellow. You had a 3-second lead over Pizzichemi. I mean, it just looked incredibly fast. Looks like you're going to be able to beat everybody off of pit road as well. Looks like Josh Taylor, though he stayed out. Last time he was on pit road was lap 99. So you're going to have 14 lap fresher tires than him, but you're also going to have to worry about Pizzichemi and Harmon behind you. What's your focus here, and can you grab these checkers?
I wish that caution didn't come out because I think I was looking pretty. I had a pretty good long run truck. I just had to come from the way back to the front.
Yep, saw it.
And they only really caught me. Well, Thomas only caught me a couple tenths in I think 10 or 15 laps or so. Yeah, I think I was just doing good right there. Clean air. He would have had to pass Brian. He was on a little bit older tires than Thomas. I think they needed a little bit more laps on tires to have an advantage, just because it's so cool and grippy out here.
Well, you had they would have only had a 2-lap on tire difference. I think you had come down on lap 97. They came down on lap 99. So I don't think by the time the tires equaled out with them trying to eat up that 3-second deficit that they had, it would have been really interesting to see what that fight would have looked like. We're going to be coming to 19 to go this time. Can you hold them off, buddy?
I'm gonna try to, or I'm a wreck trying. So I'm either gonna see the checkers or end up on my roof here. So hopefully we can see the checkers. But yeah, man, I don't like this place at all.
Well, you got a great vantage point. You're the control truck. You're going to be the first one on that loud pedal. Get after it. Get going. Keep the shiny side up on that Rowdy Energy machine, and hopefully we'll be talking to you again a little bit later on. By the way, straight out of Alaska, out there in the land of Twitch, says, "Let's go, Justin."
Oh man, I'm gonna wreck now since he's watching.
Go get it, buddy. We'll talk to you.
Yep.
All right, one more time. That is the pilot of this number 13 Rowdy Energy machine, the one and only Justin Anisgok. As we get going through turns 3 and 4, we're going to go ahead and bring it on back to Barney in the starter cam. Get this thing ready to be fired off. Green flag's up. Rowdy's going to be the first one on that loud pedal. Let's get ready to roll.
Green, green, green.
Green flag. Got a wreck behind, but it looks like they were able to hold on to it. Josh Taylor goes down pit road, but we stay green. 13 probably wants to see this, although he'd love to run 3 or 4 laps under pace speed, clicking those off. That way he's got that little bit of a buffer there. That trip down pit road definitely hurt Josh Taylor more than I'm sure it definitely gave him a black flag. Very, very unfortunate for him. But as he comes on out, Mike Pop Bear Campbell or the admins in the race may clear that flag because he was forced down under or by that wreck, trying to avoid it. So we'll have to see how that looks. Right now, Rowdy dumping all kinds of dirty air on the nose of that Avril Lavigne number 68, Scott Rickard, in his 05 right now, sitting third. Then the 25 of Andrew Chapman and Austin Collins. If you want me to tell you just how fast that Justin Anisgok is pushing, he just went purple, posting the fastest time of the evening with a 29.79. And Andrew Chapman says, "Oh yeah, hold my beer. I can do that too," with a 29.65. So now Andrew Chapman posting the fastest lap of the race. The reason that Justin's was a little bit more impressive, he did it in clean air, while the 25 did it with a little bit of draft. All right, so off of turn number 4, coming to 15 laps to go. And this race is getting a bit more interesting. Is the 68 going to be able to pull on up and maybe pull a little bit of a slide job on the 13, or is he going to be able to catch him? Is he going to get caught in that dirty air and not able to make up any time? We'll just have to wait and see. 68 throwing it low, getting to the back bumper of the 13. Going to try to pack a little bit of that dirty air on that Rowdy Energy machine. This is what that looks like. Jacob Mascar, sorry I missed it before. Thank you very much for the sub. 4 months, man. I definitely appreciate that. Thank you, thank you, thank you, sir. See everybody that's out there. Definitely appreciate y'all coming out, hanging out, chatting it up, and keeping me and all these drivers and everybody else that's out there in chat company. If you haven't already, please go on up and smash that follow. Hit the subscribe if you can. It is definitely very, very much appreciated. We got a battle for the lead. 68 trying to throw it down low. Rowdy's got that high side. Little bit of momentum. 68 packing that air on the left rear of the 13. Side by side across the start stripe. The 68, if that was for the lead, he would have won right there. Here's the 13 really pinching the 68 down. Can he keep him there? Try to pack a little bit of air on his own on that right rear. Now the 13 has a little bit of help. Here comes the 05. Here comes the 25. There's the 74 and more. Rowdy not able to stay with him through turns 3 and 4. Rowdy getting a little tight, smacking that outside wall, but we're going to stay green. '57 to Kenny Lynn now working his way under the 13. You also see the 81 of Mr. Osborne. Behind Osborne, you also see Mike Miller, Jose Ruiz, Mike York, Mike Pop Bear Campbell. Mike Pop Bear Campbell right now running in the P12 position, up 11 spots. And if I'm not mistaken, yep, that puts Mike inside the not only the top 12, but also that makes him tonight's biggest mover so far through turns 1 and 2. Looking like a pretty nice looking truck. Let's actually go ahead and take a look at this machine, shall we? Network Alliance for Veterans at networkallianceforveterans.com adorning this number 71 from the backside. Very, very nice looking truck. And again, big thank you to Lieutenant Colonel retired Cecil Ross of our U.S. Army for picking up the tab here for the turn down for what iRacing Truck Series. Again, the second season in a row for the Network Alliance for Veterans. Don't forget, guys, here's their link yet again. Go on over, copy it down, and make sure you hand that link over to your favorite veterans of our U.S. Armed Forces. All right, after that contact with the wall, Justin Anscock fell back to P8, now down 5 spots from where he started. Mike Miller here in this number 5, he started 9th, and that's right where he continues to run. Looking to the outside of Justin Anscock in that number 13. Look, Justin looking a little loose. Now 8 laps remaining. Bringing it back up front and taking a look from behind. Looks like Tom Harmon, he's got a little bit of a buffer back to the 05 of Scott Rickard. Scott Rickard has done very, very well holding on to the leaders this evening. Just has not been able to get his Chevrolet up to the point and leading some laps. You see the lights at Charlotte Motor Speedway coming on, going from daylight to dusk. We won't be racing under the lights. 6 laps to go this time, 5 laps to go next time. Harmon starting to extend his lead, now 0.6 over Scott Rickard. He's got a good 0.8 over Chapman. About another 0.8 back to Collins. So this should be a decent little fight right here. Collins low, 25 of Chapman up high, coming to 5 to go. Single file for the most part. The 68's got to be loving what he sees. The 05 still high. 25 to Chapman down low. 74 up high. All different lines coming through turns 1 and 2. Jimmy Cocker right now filling out the P5 spot, up 2 spots in his Virginia Tech number 20. Filling up the rear view mirror of Austin Collins. He's got Kenny Lynn trying to run him down right along with John Osborne and Mike Miller. Those two right now nose to tail. Mike Miller a little bit further back. He's got Jose Ruiz just behind him. And then the 07 of Mike York. Tyler Burden to fill out P11. And Mike Pop Bear Campbell still riding in the 12th spot. 4 laps to go from Charlotte. Clean air is king. Anybody that we've talked to this evening has said just that, whether in practice or in qualifying, or, well, we didn't talk to anybody in qualifying, but in practice and in race. Clean air, clean air, clean air. Brian Pizzicami was able to get on up there and lead a bunch of laps. Right now sitting P17. Not quite sure if he had an issue getting on a pit road or what the problem may have been, but definitely mired back in traffic, probably definitely more than where he'd like to be. Coming to 2 laps to go. 2 laps and a big old lead for Tom Harmon in turns 1 and 2. Now coming down the backstretch, he sees the 78 just ahead, his Team ORL team racing partner. Through turns 3 and 4. 1 more lap to go. Tom Harmon off of turn number 4. Coming across the start stripe, he sees Barney waving a white flag. Just has to do it for 1.5 more miles. Jacob NASCAR says final lap. 68 got this. Jacob, I've got to agree. Still wrapping it all the way on the bottom. Keeping it in the... Whoop, saw some smoke in the back. But basically keeping that truck running right where it's been. Not to throw him off at all. Through 3 and 4 for the very last time. And it looks like it's going to be Tom Harmon getting it done at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Queen City's been nice to him. Harmon gets the W. Scott Rickard's going to come across P2. Austin Collins P3 and is 74. Andrew Chapman is going to be P number 4, right where he qualified this evening. Jimmy Cocker is going to be 5th. 6th is going to be Kenny Lind. John Osborne is going to be 7th. 8th is going to be Jose Ruiz. Mike York on his welcome back to turn down for what is going to be 9th. And Mike Miller is going to be inside the top 10. Mike Pop Bear Campbell finishing 12th. Tyler Burden 11th. Doug King 13th. As the rest of the field makes their way down pit road. But right now, it's all about Tom Harmon. Harmon, it's all yours, sir. Burn it down. Gonna park it right there on the start stripe. Grab a picture for his records, and yeah, again, big congratulations to Tom Harmon grabbing the win tonight. All right, ladies and gents, we will be right back with our top 3: Tom Harmon, Scott Rickard, and Austin Collins from the booth. Don't anybody go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Screaming engines wanting more. Light the track and hit the curve. Chasing glory we deserve. Turn down for what we speed tonight. Blazing trails beyond the light. Fuel the fire.
in there with us.
Adrenaline, the swiftest thrill. Chasing shadows, bending will. Burning rubber, smoke the
Half
skies.
gonna share one with me.
I told him how to run it.
I mean, he did help me, but still, my point still stands.
Every corner, a battleground.
Kurt, I hate this track with passion. I can't wait to go up the road track.
Control, brutal whispers in your soul. Turn down for what we speak tonight. Blazing trails beyond the light. Fuel the fire, hearts collide.
Yeah, that's what I'm waiting. That and short track. I'm waiting for the next short track too. That's what I feel good on.
Next road course is in like 3 or 4 weeks.
Yeah.
We got Nashville and Michigan, Pocono, and Wine.
No, Pocono got moved.
Oh, did it? Well, then.
That's what I gotta look up. Try to figure out if I want to get tickets for Lime Rock Real Life.
I believe so.
All right, ladies and gents, we are back. Got our top 3 live in the booth. Got to kick it off with driver 74, down 2 spots after starting on pole. Austin, you led early. You got a very, very fast Team Watson Racing setup, Toyota TRD machine. Walk us through your race and how hard it was to try to fight back through that dirty air once you lost the lead.
Yeah, it's pretty tough. I was just mainly focusing on trying to learn how to save kind of a little bit better there. We ran that long run, and the truck felt all over the place to me. Like it was tight, and then it was loose, and then it was tight again, and then I was loose, and then I was tight and loose, and it felt like I was just all over the place. And so I didn't know what I was doing on that long run. I stayed about third, I think. Brian and Thomas had kind of drove away from me there at the end of it. And then we had the pit stop, and I came out, and I was kind of just buying my time right there, and we got the caution, and then from that caution, it was just a run to the finish, and I underfueled and thought it, because like I said, I was loose on the run before, and I was like, all right, well, underfueling will help me out here. I might be able to just kind of put it down and just, throttle out of these corners, and at that point, I was once again tight again, so I couldn't really pass on the bottom. And Andrew and Scott were doing a good job at holding up the high side there, putting that dirty air up there. So it was just hard for me to make up ground there at the end. I felt like I had a shot at maybe racing Thomas for the win. I could have gotten up there and been able to be with him on that restart, but just the amount of trucks I had in between us and the amount of time I had didn't line up right.
Charlotte Motor Speedway tends to be a favorite track for a lot of drivers here on the service. We got a few friends in common. Eliza Bethel would be one of them. What do you think of Charlotte Motor Speedway? Do you prefer to race during the day, at night, or do you prefer the transition to see the change in your vehicle?
I just personally like running Charlotte anytime. I've always enjoyed Charlotte. I used to be a lot better at it. I felt like I've lost a step somewhere along the way, and there's definitely guys that are a lot faster than me now. So either that or they've gotten a lot better. So I still enjoy Charlotte. It's a fun track. It's a fun mile and a half. It's not flat out in the truck like most mile and a halves tend to be in the truck. So it's somewhat flat out, but 3 and 4 you have to lift pretty good. So it creates some pretty good racing, creates good side by side. The top comes in good, and it puts on a pretty good show most of the time.
You're not wrong. Saw a lot of single file racing. Next week we go to Nashville Super Speedway. Whole lot of concrete racing there. You want to talk about a variance in the track temp? You looking forward to going to Music City, or you think you might have to spend a little extra time getting some practice this week?
I tend to like Nashville a lot too. It's up there in my top 3 on iRacing. Although, like I said, the trucks are pretty bad at dirty air, so it's going to be even worse there. I know Nashville's dirty air at Nashville's awful. You thought single file here at Charlotte, it's pretty much just one line there Nashville for the most part, and if you don't hit it, you're going to be going backwards. So, but I still tend to like it. It drives fun. It's a fun little racetrack. Like I say, it kind of has short track characteristics, even though it's well over a mile. So, it's a fun little old track. So I'm looking forward to it.
All right, Austin, congratulations on this P3 finish. We will see you next week at Nashville. Have yourself a great night, sir.
Yeah, thank you, Pete. Before I go, though, I'd like to thank you for doing the broadcast. And I'd like to thank all my teammates at Output, and I'd like to thank Team Watson Racing, and also NAV. I know tonight was a big race for them.
Yep.
So shout out to them for sponsoring Turn Down for What here. And shout out to all the admins and all the drivers that show up here and let us race.
I used to like get the friends, family, sponsors that you want to get, you want to shout out there. For some reason, I'm not like purposely trying to do it. I just don't do it as much as I used to, and I don't know. I gotta get back into the habit. But thank you very much.
I'll keep you honest, Pete. Don't you worry.
I have no doubt. I have no doubt, Austin. Have a great night, sir.
Yeah, take care, buddy.
You got it. All right, moving on up. P number 2. He was P2 a few times this evening. Talking about Scott Rickard in that 05 Silverado, up 8 spots on the night. Scott, you found yourself battling amongst the leaders, top 5 all night long. Charlotte Motor Speedway definitely seems to fit your style. What is it about this 1.5 mile track in the Queen City that just seems to do very well for you?
I'm really good at just somehow finishing better than I've ran most of the time here, because I was not second fastest on a long run at all in any play in this race. So I think Thomas for helping me a little bit with the right front after like halfway through the race with how to save it a little bit better. But sometimes I can just get to the front out of nowhere and be there at the end of Charlotte.
You're getting closer and closer to you're gonna. I have no doubt in my mind. I mean, this season goes all the way through to the first week of November. If you're looking ahead, or if you have looked ahead at the schedule, whether it's in Nashville or a Pocono, you mentioned a road course like Lime Rock, which is in the first week of July. Then you've got the Glen in the second week of August. I mean, the Roval a little bit later on. Then you've got Martinsville and Phoenix and Darlington. A whole gambit of different kinds of tracks. If you were to look at the schedule, or if you have looked ahead at the schedule, which one do you have circled and say, "Yep, I've got that one"?
I think obviously I had to pick the Glen, but that's because I'm a New Yorker, so I have to pick the New York track and the road course, since I'm good at them usually. So usually the road courses and the short tracks are more my style nowadays with iRacing and stuff. So right for them.
All right,
Not these tracks I'm not good at.
Well, you showed a lot of speed here tonight. Like Austin Collins was just saying, Nashville's somewhat like a Charlotte Motor Speedway. So, do you foresee a lot of speed in that 05 next week in Music City, or will you have to kind of burn the candle at both ends, getting a few practice laps in throughout the week?
I was good at for like the first year or so that Nashville was on iRacing, and I lost whatever I had there, and I've been off on a long run ever since there. So maybe I can find something. I doubt it because I don't practice so much anyway. So we'll see.
Well, we'll see. Congratulations on the second step on the podium this evening. Any friends, family, sponsors you want to get out there, sir?
I just had to thank everybody on the team let me be in chat and help me with some of these things, and Team Watson Racing setups, and everybody that puts the race on.
There you go. All right, last but certainly not least, no stranger to the booth whatsoever, Tom Harmon in that Avril Lavigne number 68 Silverado, up 10 spots on the evening. Mr. Harmon, I mean, you have won multiple races now back to back. Very, very strong here at Charlotte Motor Speedway as well. No surprise there. You could be running 20th, and I know by the time the race is over, we're going to be talking about you inside the top 5. What is it about the ability to save tires, save fuel when needed? What is it about the abilities that you have that makes you so good really in the closing or second half of these races?
I mean, honestly, it's just being able to stay patient whenever you get a long run, and whenever there's a lot of laps left in the race, just kind of Be patient, but know when to push it when he gets down to the grind at the end. And hopefully, whatever you push it, it's enough to get you to the front.
When the 78 was leading, of course, Brian Pizzakemi, one of your teammates, during one of the cautions, pulled him up, and you were sitting P4 at the time, and he kind of shined the light on you. He says, I see that driver in P4. I know I'm going to have to worry about him. Sure enough, you went from 4th to 3rd. A few laps later, you were in 2nd, and then really starting to dog on that tailgate for that number 78. You are just fast. I mean, there's no ignoring that point. I believe you came into tonight's race with the points lead as well. What do you think about Nashville Super Speedway, and was Austin Collins's perception of that track correct in saying that it's very much like a Charlotte?
Yeah, I think it pretty much is. With the work that they've done on it, though, you can kind of use a second lane and get away with it, but definitely more of a one-line thing. You're going to see a lot of single-file racing, and a lot of guys fighting for that single line when they do get side-by-side. And it really sharp exits on turn 4, too wide could end a lot of people.
I recall with Nashville, I'm not quite sure if it was before any kind of an update or maybe after it. I remember that if you're on that bottom line, you can really be pinched down and you can run side by side for quite a few laps. Is that the Nashville of old, or is that something that we should be looking forward to?
Last time I ran there, you were able to get a lot of momentum off the high side, but it chewed up your tires pretty good to do so. With all the updates I've been going through, I don't know if Nashville is one or not, so we'll see.
All right, buddy. Again, congratulations on this win. Multiple now on the season. Any friends, family, sponsors you got, sir?
Give a shout out to you up in the booth for broadcasting it to everybody. All the fans and drivers that show up each week to allow us to put on a show and to enjoy the show. All the Turned Out For What League admins and Papa Bear for putting it on. League admins and family and Papa Bear for putting it on and everything. League admins, teammates for work with me, helping me out whenever I need it, and vice versa. And Avril and the Hood.
All right, buddy. We will see you tomorrow night with the Shake and Bake iRacing Gen 6 Cup Series from the Glen. Talked about that just a few moments ago. Have a great night, sir, and congratulations on this win.
Thank you, sir. Have a good one.
You as well. All right, everybody, that's going to do it here for the Turned Out For What iRacing Truck Series. Again, big congratulations to Tom Harmon on the win, Scott Rickard second, Austin Collins third, Andrew Chapman fourth, Jimmy Cocker filling out the top 5. I'm going to go ahead and put the the Network Alliance for Veterans.com website out there one more time. Please make sure, again, you go ahead, copy it down, and pass it along to your favorite veteran or veterans. You never know what they may be in need of or what services they can benefit from, what questions they may have. Please make sure to get that out there if you can, if at all possible. You, again, could really help someone out and you not even know about it. All right, everybody, have a good night from Charlotte Motor Speedway. Take care.